There he is. He's back again. This is the cable company, and this is my NASA. I want to dedicate this to all the Rocketeers out there. Bob and Tony Revels were Rocketeers on the Apollo mission. I dedicate this to my girl Lisa. She was an organ donor, and she didn't want to be. Okay, that's what it's all about. Lisa's grandbaby law. These are just a few pictures that I have. I have double. I noticed that when Mr. Revels and Mrs. Revels both being a lot of. I do have. I thought I had a lot more stuff, but it's turning out that it's more double than anything. The General Dynamics Astronomics. Atlas follows Mercury into orbit. The Mercury spacecraft carrying astronaut John Glenn is shown as it separates from the Atlas launch vehicle and went into orbit nearly 100 miles above Earth. The launch from Cape Canaveral was part of the National Aeronautics and Space Administration Project Mercury Manned Space Program. Atlas 109-D, built by General Dynamics Astronautics, San Diego, reached a velocity of about 17,500 miles an hour and also orbited the Earth. The three small rockets separated the Mercury spacecraft carrying astronaut Glenn from Atlas, which was destroyed by friction when it fell back into the Earth's atmosphere. Glenn was the first American astronaut to orbit the Earth. Astronautics builds Atlas intercontinental ballistic missiles for the U.S. Air Force and the hydrogen-powered Centaur space vehicle for NASA. Drawing is by General Dynamics Astronautics artist. And there is a... that's just what I just read you. Well, I guess these little dogs ain't going to let me do this today. Okay, you guys, settle down now. I've had enough of y'all. I really have. This right here, if I can do this, I guess I'm not going to be able to do much of nothing with these dogs aggravating like they are. Get your animal spayed or neutered. Don't do like I do and procrastinate and it costs you more money in the end. I bought 4 31-pound bags of dog food. God dang, man, that's crazy. I can't do that. Anybody want a puppy? Manned Spacecraft Center operations and checkout building, Atlantic Missile Range. And there you go. Okay. It says the negative is not on file. Negative supplied by classification. And artist drawing of Manned Spacecraft Center, the May 4th, 62. Operations checkout building, Atlantic Missile Range. I thought that was pretty cool. And this is the Gemini. Okay, if you can see that. Okay. And maybe you can freeze that and see. Then Gemini 76 van der Waals. Gemini 7 spacecraft as photographed by Gemini 6 crew, December the 15th, 1965, 160 miles above the Earth. And that was, this is the Gemini as well. I promised y'all I'd show you some of the different. This is Gemini 7 spacecraft from Gemini 76 van der Waals, December 15, 1965. And then here we have, but this is, it looks like the Saturn complex. And it is aerial photo of Special Assembly Building, SR 2325. And there you go, there's y'all. we got this one here. Okay, this one here is that's a hangar. Check out Aerojet's second stage in hangar A3 Atlas Able number 5. Okay, and then we go. Let's see what we got here. Okay. And then we'll go right here, and this is Atlas. This is the Atlas Mercury fact sheet. Okay, actually, there it is. Actually, the fact sheet. See it? Okay, and then this in here is the hope for release of successful launch. What they're saying here, what they do is they, whenever, with the respect for family and friends, if there's a person inside the vehicle, and they has to be completely on the ground, when the doctor puts a thumbs up like that, then it can be released to the, like the press kit and all, these little things right here. They will not let. They're real strict about. I've seen where it says in a lot of do not give, because they got, there's like 75 or 100 reporters out there from everywhere, and they will not give you any information. You would not get this if someone was to die in that, like in that one in Columbia. Hope for release of successful launch in the reinforced concrete blockhouse at Complex 14, Cape Canaveral, Florida. A General Dynamics astronautics test conductor pressed a button. The huge engine of an Atlantis launch vehicle 800 feet away roared to life. As it lifted from its pad top, it rode a unique bell-shaped vehicle, a manned Mercury spacecraft. In it rode 40-year-old Marine Corporal Lieutenant Colonel John Herschel Glenn, the first American astronaut to go into orbit. The test conductor who sent Glenn on his way was T.J. O'Malley, 46, a native of Montclair, New Jersey, who holds a Bachelor of Science degree in Mechanical Engineering from New Jersey and Newark College. He has been with astronautics for 4 years. The vehicle he launched opened a new era in America's space exploration program. Mercury Atlas Countdown number 2. The Atlas launch vehicle is produced at the San Diego plant of General Dynamics Astronautics for the Air Force, which supplies the booster to the National Aeronautics and Space Administration. This vehicle is a modified Series D Atlas. The Mercury spacecraft, which it carried as an upper stage, is built for NASA by the McDonnell Aircraft Corporation of St. Louis. Today's Atlas was programmed to place Glenn's spacecraft into an elliptical orbit with a pedigree of approximately 85 nautical miles near point and on apogee of approximately 140 nautical miles far point. His fast 3-trip tour of the globe lasted approximately 4.5 hours. Although launching such a space vehicle as the Mercury Atlas is an awesome experience, much of the drama occurs in the long hours before the test conductor reaches 20 seconds to time zero and pushes the button, the last human act in a successful rocket launching. This is the drama of the countdown. The countdown script is a creation of near perfection, terse and polished, and with every surplus word eliminated, every second accounted for. Like every drama, the countdown has its star. This is the astronautics test conductor. He monitors every single phase in preparation for launching. Is a key figure in every decision from the moment the countdown begins to the instant he pushes the final button in the last few seconds before the scene. Okay, in the small hours of the morning, while the Atlas still is locked securely in its truss steel gantry and the night sky covers Florida, He commences a final check of the bird on the pad, its ground equipment, the test control equipment in the blockhouse. Because of the complexity of the equipment, nothing is left to chance. Each item, each system is checked, even though it has already been checked a number of times. The countdown for the Mercury Atlas is a single continuous operation involving both vehicles. There are moments of high tension and moments of almost relaxation. A tense moment was when John Glenn crossed the launching pad, get into the elevator and rode to the top, where the bell-shaped Mercury spacecraft sat, bound to the Atlas. He felt very alone. The men who make up the countdown crew were selected for this job from their knowledge of the space vehicle, the countdown procedure, the capability to work under stress. They have been trained to a fine edge. They know that human error has contributed to possibly more failures than any has mechanical malfunction. The misreading of an instrument, the failure to accurate an operation at a precise instant in time. This is the stuff of which failure is made. They are extremely careful. Although the countdown for the Mercury Atlas involved the launching into orbit of human life, it did not significantly differ from preceding countdowns, such as a countdown might run like this. The test conductor sits at the small console in the center of the blockhouse. He holds the script, watches the clock at precise time calls, off items as he waits for the response from the men who monitor them. It is a simple go and no-go type of answer, for in the countdown the rocket is either ready or not ready. There are no shades of gray. As time zero draws near inevitability, the tension rises. Propulsion Atlas, go. Autopilot and hydraulics, go. RF systems, go. Page of the questions, each bringing a simple answer. Along the walls, batteries of automatic writers spill out torrents of information. Solenoids click, green lights flash, the low hum of an air circulating fan breaks the silence. That and the voice of the test conductor and the crisp replies he hears, go, go. The test conductor is somewhat like the director of a play, a multi-million-dollar production, the theme of which is human drama. All the tension and suspense that go with the countdown were especially true in the launching of the Mercury Atlas, for the space vehicle sent into the sky contained a brave man. This was a dramatic hour, both for the men who worked on the rocket and those who made it possible. There were men from many walks of life, officials of the National Aeronautics and Space Administration, high management officials of the Air Force and General Dynamics, astronautics, countless government, military, and industry science, engineers, test and production personnel, warehousemen, clerks, and many others. It was a dramatic hour for the nation and for John Glenn. The blockhouse has a small side section to separate the VIPs from the launch crew. In this hour it was crowded. There was a tense, nervous silence. The bird on the pad and the small craft perched on its shoulder appeared lonely and remote. The last minutes of the countdown in any countdown become particularly dramatic, filled with suspense, still with only the low-spoken voice of the test conductor and the answer to his questions breaking the quiet. Sitting at his small console, he faces a battery of television cameras which displays the area around the rocket, now naked under the Florida sky. Below the television screen from clocks register 4 different kinds of time: Eastern Standard Time, Countdown Time, Hold Time, and Zero Time. The test conductor is undisputed master of the bird. The steel gantry which has housed the rocket has been rolled back, and an air of stillness and immobility pervades the scene. For a warning, Claxton has called the last of the workers from the pad. The closest are those behind the thick reinforced walls of the blockhouse, 800 feet away. At T-minus 30 minutes, the blockhouse doors are closed and sealed. The smoking lamp is out. Ventilation blowers are shut down. A report from a countdown during this time might read like this. T4, T minus 4 minutes and counting. Telemetry to internal. Accessory switch to internal. T3, timer off, ready switch to ready. Water systems on. T2, command to internal. Liquid oxygen tanking secure. Following T minus 1 minute, the script moves fast. Human pressure becomes critical. At T minus 20 seconds, the test conductor calculates the burner engine of the Atlas Boost vehicle to start sequence. This is the last human operation. After that, the test conductor lives on the cutoff switch, waiting in case something goes wrong. Tension is electrical. The test conductor and crew keep their eyes riveted on the monitoring console. Torrents of water swirl over the flame deflector below the Atlas, which is frosted from its internal cargo of liquid oxygen. Photographic and telemetry equipment are on. At time zero, the silence in the blockhouse is broken by a cry of main stage from the periscopic observers. The Atlas, two huge booster engine and a single sustainer engine roar to life, spewing rivers of flame as they develop hundreds of thousands of pounds of thrust. Clouds of steam rise from the flame bucket as the fiery exhaust is doused in a man-made waterfall. Mercury Atlas countdown number 7. This is the moment of liftoff, this culmination of years of hoping, planning, and laboring. As dramatic as the launching of a great space vehicle like Mercury Atlas is, it is almost anticlimactic when compared with the drama which preceded in the drama of the countdown. In the words of the astronomics test conductor, it is a time when man lives 1,000 years, asks 1,000 questions, gets no answer. The only answer lies out there on the pad where the bird is waiting. All test conductors know that. Okie dokie, isn't that wonderful? Isn't that something? Okay, people, that summed us up one, and I want to read that. This is a program, right there it says program. Facts about the Vehicle Assembly Building. The Vehicle Assembly Building is located in the National Aeronautics and Space Administration Merritt Island launch area, the world's largest building. It will be used to assemble giant Apollo Saturn V space vehicles in vertical position for manned voyages to the moon. Other cubic volume, 125 million feet. Height, 525 feet. Width, 518 feet. Length, 716 feet. Weight of structural steel, 57,718 tons. High strength bolts, approximately 1 million, ranging up to 1½ inch in diameter. Stairs, approximately 2 miles in length. Weight of heaviest beam, 36 tons. Number of steel beams, 45,000. Designed by Urban, Roberts, Steele, and Morin. Supervising construction is Canable District, U.S. Army Corps of Engineers. Joint venture contractor, Morrison, Crudson, Perny, Hardman. Structural steel fabricated and directed by American Bridge Division, United States Steel. There you go. There it is. That's a good picture of it right there. I don't know if you can see that. And this is topping our ceremony vehicle assembly building, Merritt Island launch area, Florida, in April the 14th, 1965. And you can see that right there. And don't forget about Lisa's grandbaby law. Let's pass it in there. Let's get it out there. Let the people see it. Let's, tweak it, get it right, get the words right. Let's send it through and get it passed where we can use robotics. And they don't have to do it. You can solve everybody's problem with robotics. Is where this was 40, 50 years ago or something. Come on, people. They don't need to steal people's organs. You don't have to have organ donors. That's just free money for the hospitals. And it really disturbs me. But vote for Lisa's grandbaby law. Let's get it in there. Let's stop them from stealing people's organs. And then maybe Lisa's soul can go on and all the thousands of souls that are with her. Okay? That's what it's all about. You can write to me if you want to. Mitchell Aaron Note Sr., 301 Harbert Valley Road, Toccoa, Georgia, 30577. Write to me today. Tell me what's on your mind. I'm going to tell you what's on mine, okay? Come on back and see me. Bye-bye.